it's live, pal.
Sorry.
We will ban you from the Summerfest.
Right here in the Silverdome.
Jeff Harvey.
And I have half the brain that you
do. Welcome everyone to Wrestle Hunks Weekly. I'm Brady Price, and as always, I'm joined by the Jaden Stevenson to my sports bet, Nathan Marler.
How you going, cowboy?
I'm doing pretty well in this cold weather at the moment.
It's a nice obscure reference.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone will get it, but fuck, it's funny. So
it's funny for us.
Yeah. So there's not a great deal of news going on in the world of wrestling. AEW is sort of keeping quiet for the moment for the next couple of months, and I think you'll probably have some New Japan stuff in your news roundup. So
yes, definitely. Yeah,
we've got that to look forward to, and we'll also make our Stomping Grounds predictions as top 5 later as well. So some stuff to get through. I thought we'd start off though this week. We'll go through Monday Night Raw and Smackdown as we lead into this weekend's pay-per-view Stomping Ground this weekend. Raw this week, Nat, I actually watched pretty much all of Raw this week.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought maybe because I'm comparing it to recent weeks, but it was pretty solid. I thought. We start with this. Seth Rollins. He showed a more aggressive side. He had a steel chair in hand for pretty much the entire night, and he was laying out potential special guest referees for their match at Stomping Grounds. So any time that Corbin would potentially have someone in line to referee the match, he would just lay them out with a steel chair, which led to Elias, EC3, and Eric Young all being laid out with the chair. Did you? I mean, I popped when EC3 came out because I thought they might get some
do something.
Yeah, but what did you think of Seth? Sort of just this new attitude as he just rampages through the roster.
I mean, it's different, but I guess it kind of makes sense because Baron Corbin's trying to make his life hell, so he's just snapping. He's getting big angry. I just thought just have more names that start with an E as the referees.
Yeah, well, I didn't even realize that. Elias, Ethan, and Eric. So.
I mean, if this was like 3 weeks ago, we could have said Eric Bugenhagen instead of Rick Boogs.
Just going to use Eric from the
Eugene.
Yeah. It changes up the character a little bit. Like Seth is, for the most part, recently he's just been like the lovable, really good in-ring wrestler that everyone loves.
Eric Young got an appearance on Raw.
He got a time to talk, which was pretty nice.
It's different.
And that's one of the things I think that I enjoyed about Raw is that they had people on the show that, deserve a chance. So
yeah,
it was nice to see EC3 get a chance. He had a great little run-in with the New Day. I thought that was very funny.
That was hilarious.
And then, like you said, Eric Young was backstage and he spoke. It seems as though all the sort of crazy sanity stuff is gone, and now he's just normal Eric Young. So
just Canadian Eric Young.
Yeah. The first match of the night was a fatal 5-way elimination match. We saw Ricochet defeat Braun Strowman, The Miz, Cesaro, and Bobby Lashley to become the number 1 contender to Samoa Joe's US title. That match takes place this Sunday at Stomping Grounds. Do you think this is the right choice to have Ricochet in the match?
Out of the names there, I think it makes the most sense for a quick little feud. I feel like this is just going to be a one-off match. The way they built it, obviously they didn't really have a build.
Yeah,
it was just Joe coming out at the end of it. But like out of those names, I didn't think you're not going to have a Strowman Joe because you just assume Strowman would win, kind of the way he's kind of booked. Miz, I don't know. I'd feel like I'd want some build behind that. Same with Cesaro. Cesaro probably the second kind of choice you could go for, but Lashley, no.
Yeah, I agree. Ricochet is is like the babyface out of that group that just makes sense to pair him up with Joe, and I think the match will be pretty good if they get the time that they deserve, because those two.
How many times did we say that for the Joe Ray matches?
Yeah, exactly. Every time that happened on a pay-per-view, or if it happened on Raw, I think maybe once. So, yeah, I mean, Ricochet's in the same sort of boat. He's sort of the smaller guy. The contrast of styles there with Joe, I think, would work really well, and we know Ricochet's great to watch, as is Joe. So that's one to look forward to. The Viking Raiders actually appeared on Raw. I have here. They interrupted Brian and Rowan. They sort of just stared past them and went on. And did they have
jobbers?
Yeah, there was just local talent, wasn't it? So
it's fun.
Yeah, so the Viking Raiders are still alive and still on Raw, which is good to know.
But they have been on main event.
Have they?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, a lot of people are like, well, the tag team's kind of ruined because they were main event.
Yeah, that's true. A tag team that's getting a slight push, it seems, is that Gallows and Anderson may have a storyline in the works. They had a little backstage promo with AJ Styles, in which AJ sort of told them to take it more seriously, and now it seems like that they might be pushing like a club reunion. Gallows and Anderson went on to lose to the Usos because they weren't taking it seriously and too sweeting during the match and stuff like that. So, do you like this little angle that they could be pushing with the?
No,
You don't like it.
it's very clear what they're doing. They're clearly building this just for that Japan show.
But would you like it if it went past that? Like actually having these three together long term?
Oh yeah, 100%. But it's not going to happen.
I know that's the problem.
That's the reality of things. Like they're just building this up, so the match they're going to have in Japan is kind of competitive because at the moment it was like AJ and Triple H and two pretty much against. They had a pretty, I forget who it was, but some pretty good talent.
I think the top of Raw with all the heels, they're kind of boring. I like what Corbin's doing, but Drew McIntyre, they've sort of taken the step a little bit with his involvement with Shane, and then Lashley.
Can we not talk about that next segment either?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, Lashley, I don't really care for. So, I mean, I would love to see a heel AJ with like a heel Gallows and Anderson back on Raw.
Yeah,
running the show, but yeah, we'll see how that plays out. But at least,
do you reckon this confirms maybe Gallows and Anderson re-signed?
Was there a rumor that they were re-signing?
Oh, it was a rumor they were leaving.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's sort of hard to tell. Like these guys, the Revival as well were linked to one out, but they're getting used and they're the tag champions. So
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe WWE trying to make a case for them to stay, but might be a little too late for that. I'm not too sure. Like you said, the next segment, Roman Reigns laid out the Revival, Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon, who were celebrating in their very sad own private party, just the four of them in a room. We also saw Heath Slater sort of interrupt and ask for a raise, which led to Drew McIntyre beating him up. Do you have any thoughts on?
I liked that part.
Yeah,
I liked that part with Heath Slater. I did not like the Roman Reigns part. It was so shit.
Honest, my thought was, so when Roman got Shane alone in the ring, I thought, like, hopefully they write him off of TV here. Like, they can just write him out of the storylines. We don't need Shane McMahon on TV. He's had his matches with Miz and Roman. Let's just leave that, and then just, like, we don't need authority figures on TV. So that's what I was hoping for, but I think he just hit him with a spear, and that was it. And I'm like, oh, Shane's probably coming back from a spear, unfortunately. So that kind of sucks, but
yeah.
The Revival look cool in their nice little pants and shirts and sunglasses. So I mean that's a positive, I suppose. We saw this is something I really enjoyed. The Iconics retained their tag titles against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Alexa Bliss was distracted by Bayley, who was at ringside. They have a match this Sunday at Stomping Grounds. So the intertwining of the Iconics having a story and being like these heels that don't want to defend their titles, but now they have a claim, like they have defended them. And then also putting the storyline of Bliss, Bayley, and Cross together, I thought was pretty good. What did you think of this?
I actually watched this live when I was at uni. It was alright. I think like I could have bought if Bliss and Cross did win the titles, like just to build up Alexa Bliss, since I haven't been doing a whole lot with the Iconics, but I am pretty happy that they got to retain, and they'll keep being iconic. And this Alexa Bliss and Bayley feud will be over after this pay-per-view.
Something that I don't have down for the SmackDown side, the Iconics ran into Asuka and Kairi Sane and Paige. So
yeah, I've got a thing about that.
Yeah, I was going to say I forgot to put that in there, but that's
right.
They're heading in that direction. I have here the Firefly Funhouse is still great because it's
really good. Oof.
And it's heating up. This feels like my Game of Thrones, to be honest. Like every week you're sort of speculating and things like that. What do you think? Do you think this is the last Firefly Funhouse we'll see? Does Bray debut next week?
What's the next pay-per-view? Is it SummerSlam? Or is it another one?
I think Extreme Rules is next.
No, I reckon another Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah.
I reckon if there's another pay-per-view, I think I think it's maybe at Extreme Rules.
Yeah. So Extreme Rules is in July, mid-July, and then SummerSlam mid-August.
I reckon he appears at Extreme Rules.
It's just heating up. Every episode is just keeping getting.
He has to win the championship.
I think him versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam is like a money match for me for the title.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. I can't wait. It's great stuff Bray's doing.
I wonder how the ring rust will be though. It's been a very long time.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, did he work live events and stuff at the start of the year?
He worked. Okay. I think he worked like 2.
Yeah. So it's not a lot of wrestling for him this year. So
yeah,
we'll see how he goes. The main event was Seth Rollins defeating Daniel Bryan, and then to close out the show, Baron Corbin laid out Seth Rollins with a steel chair. They probably didn't get the time that they needed, these two. We know they can have a great match, but
yeah.
Any thoughts on the main event?
No, not really. Just thought it went kind of the way have Corbin at the end. And just, we know Rollins will win at Stomping Ground.
Yeah, it's sort of, you want to build that hype around Corbin might win it, but I think we all know as wrestling fans that.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't. I think, it's just sort of a very standard ending, but a solid little episode of Raw there. On SmackDown, Dolph Ziggler defeated Xavier Woods in the opening match, which was very good. Surprisingly, they tore it up. We're still not taking Dolph Ziggler seriously, though, are we, for the title?
Nope. No chance.
It was nice to see Woods get a singles match, and he can just, every time we see him in the ring, get a chance to prove himself. He does, and just a little reminder how good he is.
It's true. Why are they having a steel cage match though? Like, come on. I know they don't. This feud's not. I don't know. They don't need it. They don't need it.
Storyline wise, it makes sense. Ziggler was complaining that Woods helped Kofi win the title at what was it called? Super Showdown. Is that one?
I just want Brock to come after the match, lock himself in the cage with Kofi, and win the title.
Yeah, that's a possibility. That'll definitely throw people off.
If that happened, I'd go nuts. I'd love that.
Yeah, Bayley and Alexa Bliss, they exchanged words, and then it sort of led to a little brawl on the stage during Moment of Bliss, along with Nikki Cross. I think I'm with you. Like this, obviously, Bliss and Cross are on Raw, so it doesn't make sense for Bliss to win the title or for this feud to continue going. But
yeah,
did you like this segment at all?
I only saw like a little snippet they had on WWE YouTube, but it's tough with this feud because to get into it, like, how am I supposed to believe that this is going to continue? Like, that this is not like a one-off thing, unless Alexa Bliss wins the championship.
So, something I have in mind is that the wildcard rule is essentially let's put Roman Reigns on both shows. So why not, like with what they did with Cena, and just have Roman Reigns be a free agent? And we can just get rid of this wildcard rule. Yeah. Like, no one...
yeah.
I don't care to see the Usos, go over to SmackDown for a week. Like,
but it's like they're doing it for the sake of it. Yeah. Like, just have the wildcard rule. Yeah, you can have the wildcard rule, but I don't need to see every SmackDown superstar and Raw superstar on each other's shows. You just literally do what you said. Have, like, 1 or 2 here and there.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be used every week. Like, I'm seeing the New Day twice a week. Like, I don't want... It's sort of taking the sting out of Kofi.
I don't need to see. Yeah, I don't need to see them twice a week.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you're using.
You don't see. You don't. Oh, we did see Seth on SmackDown, but like, it's just I just don't like the main champions on each other's shows.
And then.
And they're friendly.
Yeah. Again, and there's so much talent on the roster. Like, this is a reason why people want to leave, is that they're not getting utilized. We're seeing the same guys twice, rather than what the brand split's for, is for these other talent to come up and have a chance, which is just a little frustrating. But the number one contenders for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, which got made official this week, Heavy Machinery defeated the B Team in a bit of a squash match, but they look to win the titles at Stomping Grounds. But what are your thoughts on Otis potentially winning a championship?
I don't see them winning the titles just because they got a couple of easy wins. I still see Brian and Rowan as my champions. And they're going to hold them to next year's WrestleMania.
they haven't got their eco-friendly tag titles yet, so it's
You just you wait and see.
exactly. Drew McIntyre and Elias defeated the Awesome Truth. Miz and R-Truth reunited for one night, which is a bit of a nothing match, I suppose, but post-match is what we sort of want to get into. R-Truth was trying to get out of the arena, and Drake Maverick pulled a fast one over R-Truth. He was dressed up as Carmella out in the parking lot, rolled him up, and he's the new 24/7 champion, which I'm sure excited you.
To excite me. I love Drake Maverick as my 24/7 champion, but I thought it was going to come in a bigger way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But that being said, I kind of hope they just keep trading it. Like, there's everyone else can win it, yes, but eventually Drake Maverick or Truth get it. I reckon that should be the thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not bad. We're holding on hope that Drake Maverick loses at his wedding.
Yeah.
That would fucking pop me. Why didn't Braun Strowman just power slam me through a table in that photo?
Exactly. Well, he needs a referee present, so hopefully they've...
Oh, EC3 was there.
That's true. That's a good point.
Oh, no.
So we'll see whether or not that happens. That's something that I'm looking forward to. Hopefully on Twitter tomorrow I see that Drake Maverick lost his title during his wedding. That would be phenomenal. And in the main event, Seth Rollins and Kofi Kingston defeated Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, which again, it's a lot of great talent, but half of them aren't on SmackDown, so it doesn't make sense. But
yeah,
it is what it is. So that was the week that was on Raw and SmackDown. So we'll get to your news roundup, Nat, and then we'll get to our Stomping Ground predictions.
Alrighty, no worries. Give me 2 seconds to get it up. Bang, here we go. Random news for this week. We've got AEW has sold out All Out, and that was in 15 minutes. Pretty short amount of time.
Yeah, they've done a great job again. So I think I saw something like 130,000 people were in queue to try and get tickets. So
wow, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're doing something right.
Wow. Well, next up we've got more AEW news. Fyter Fest. The Elite will be taking on the Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid. And the Elite's obviously the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. So that'll be pretty cool. But the match I'm more excited for will be Best Friends versus SCU versus Private Party in a triple threat tag team match.
Yeah, did you see the stipulation for this?
I did not. Is it like to get into a tag title match?
I think the words were the winner advances to All Out for a chance at a first round bye in the tag team title tournament. It's a fucking...
Yeah, they're gonna have. They said they're gonna have a tournament. The first few episodes of the actual show will be based on a tag team tournament. So I don't know when these tag titles will actually be a thing.
Yeah, well, the wording for it just made it sound like a mess. Yeah, the winner advances to All Out. So at All Out, they'll have an opportunity at a first round bye. So this is an opportunity at an opportunity.
That's weird, but whatever. It's gonna be a good match.
It'll be a good match, though. Yeah.
And it'll be a first time really getting to see what the Private Party's all about.
Yeah, we only got a snippet at Double or Nothing in the pre-show. So.
All right, so I've got a New Japan news. So bear with me. There's a lot to talk about. So they've revealed the full tournament match schedule for this summer's G1 Climax. And the tournament will be at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. Tanahashi and Okada will face off in their first singles match against each other in the United States. That's kind of like an ESPN kind of stat right there. That's true. There's Ibushi versus Kenta, Sonata versus Zack Sabre Jr., Evil versus Bad Luck Fale, Ospreay and Lance Archer are set for Dallas. The first B Block show will take place in Tokyo in some gymnasium, where Moxley will take on Tai Chi, Jay White and Goto, Ishii and Cobb, Naito and Yano, and Tagaki. Fuck that. versus Juice. Fucking Shingo. Why am I even bothering saying his last name?
Exactly.
And then there's a few more matches. There's a lot of matches. What's the best ones to tell you? Ibushi versus Evil, Tanahashi and Kenta, Ospreay and Sonata, Okada versus Zack Sabre Jr., Naito. There's Cobb and Moxley. This is the best G1 bracket I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's pretty stacked. they've gone all out, and it should be pretty interesting to watch. I would have thought.
Oh, you said all out. So speaking of all out, well, the Young Bucks, they were defeated by the Lucha Bros for the AAA Tag Team titles at Verano de Escalandalo 2019. I am Spanish.
Well said.
Thank you. So I haven't watched any of this thing. I'm assuming it's in the next being late. So when I get to that, I guess I'll see it.
Yeah.
Did you see any of it?
I think I did, but I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it would have been. I've probably just
I just saw the end pop. It was really, really fucking loud.
Yes, which was good. That's what I do remember. It was loud compared to when the Bucks won the titles.
Bucks won it.
That show that I saw was fucking dead. So,
but they also probably didn't know who the Bucks were.
Potentially, I mean, it'd be crazy not to. But they were dead for the Penta Phoenix against whoever they were wrestling match, the one before that. So,
yeah,
not great.
So good news. Mike and Maria Kanellis have re-signed with WWE.
Oh, the big fish.
So, hey, that's okay. I'm cool with that. Sorry, Mike and Maria. I'm happy with that because they have a family to think about, and yeah.
I mean, they've got that long-term deal. Like, they're going to want to make use of Mike Kanellis, you would think, if they're signing him to a deal like that. So.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Carl Anderson. He has a billion kids, so
yeah.
Guess he's just protecting yourself. So next thing I'm going to talk about is Ring of Honor Best in the World. This is the card for the pay-per-view. We've got Mac Taven versus Jeff Cobb. Hopefully Taven retains because I'm a big fan of him now. We have Shane Taylor, television champion, defending against Bandito. What a man. The six-man championships will be defended. Villain Enterprises will be defending them against Mark Haskins, Tracy Williams, and PJ Black, which is also Justin Gabriel. So we've got the Briscoes versus Nick Aldis and Colt Cabana, Rush and Flip Gordon, Dragon Lee versus Dalton Castle. And then we've got Jonathan Gresham versus Silas Young in a pure rules match. And I'll get into that in a little bit. So, yeah. Scarlett, I'm not going to say her last name, Bordeaux's Moxley, released from Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, I did see something about this. I still don't know how to say her last name, but she's a free agent.
So yeah, she did the old. Her contract wasn't good enough anymore. She wanted out because she was getting paid peanuts. So fair enough. Yeah, she's a free agent. So next up, Dana Brooks' match against Sarah Logan was stopped on main event in the tapings last night after she busted her head open, taking a running knee. Yeah. Hope my girl's all right.
Yeah, there was a bit of blood there from the photos that I saw, so not great.
Yeah. Next up, Matt Hardy and Raby Hardy are expecting their third child. Congratulations.
Yeah, maybe a third Hardy boy.
Maybe he's a Hardy girl.
Ooh, maybe.
And they have a new team Extreme.
That's true.
So on the Steve Austin podcast, Tony Khan said that a tag team tournament to crown the first AEW tag team champions will be the focus of the television show when it launches in the fall. So Tony Khan said that a women's tag team championship will be introduced down the line once the women's singles title is established.
That's good to hear.
So some pretty good news there. Gino Gambino was hospitalized over the weekend with diverticulitis.
I did not hear this. That's terrible.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think he must be okay now if he's messaged Dave Meltzer. Next up, Tennille Dashwood is going to be making her in-ring return July 27th. She's taking on Alley Cat at Black Label Pro. It's been a while since she's wrestled, since her contract's been up in Ring of Honor.
Jeez.
It's been a long time. Coming out of that shitty Lifeblood faction.
Yeah, that's true.
So what you were asking before, Asuka and Kairi Sane, on last night's SmackDown, it was announced that Asuka and Kairi Sane will be taking on Peyton Royce and Billie Kay at one of WWE's house shows in Japan later this month. And if Asuka and Kairi Sane win, they'll get a future shot at the titles.
Oh, is that what it was?
Mm.
They said in Japan. I just had no idea what they were talking.
So they're gonna win. So they're gonna have a program.
Yeah, for sure.
If Asuka and Kairi Sane win, they get a shot. WWE has house shows in June 28th and 29th, so it'll be one of those shows. Asuka and Kairi Sane have been advertised for night 1. So there you go. After disguising himself as Carmella, Maverick wins the 24/7 championship.
Right.
WWE Studios and Netflix have announced a new movie called The Main Event. The movie will star Seth Carr, Tichini Arnold, Ken Marino, Adam Pally, Kofi Kingston, The Miz, Sheamus, and others from WWE. Production started this week, and the movie is scheduled to premiere on Netflix in 2020.
Kofi, WWE Championship, and a movie in the same year. That's pretty cool.
So next up, we have Ring of Honor announced the rules for Jonathan Gresham and Silas Young's Pure Rules match, best in the world, and each wrestler will have 3 rope breaks, and there's no closed fist punches to the face and not allowed, with the first receiving a warning and the second resulting in a DQ. So it's some interesting things there. So that does us for the news. We'll head to a quick YouTube roundup. And you can go catch all your Xavier Woods stuff, up, down, down. I'm not going to go through that. There's a new Being Elite, episode 157. Viva lost tag belts, sorry. That's a new one. Sheamus's Celtic Warrior workouts. There's a new episode, and it's with the big man, Batista. That's a huge get.
That's pretty impressive. So
next up we have Tamandi's Donuts, episode 41, with Maria Menounos, the one and only.
That'll be good. I'm excited for that.
And next up, we have Eric Bugenhagen's channel, still popping with videos, but the best video of all time is on WWE's PC channel, where he had a garlic protein shake. So please check that out. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's good viewing, that stuff.
And that's the news and all the other jazz for this week.
Very good. Very good as always. Very thorough. So I guess that leaves just the Stomping Ground predictions that we'll get to. And we'll start off with, I don't know if there's been a match, which one's been announced for the pre-show. I haven't really checked, but we'll start with the Cruiserweight title. It's a triple threat match. Tony Nese defending against Akira Tozawa and Drew Gulak. Nat, who do you think will win this one?
I have Tony Nese. I just don't see him losing the title, if I'm honest, to these two. I think this is a way to have maybe Akira Tozawa pinned or something.
Yeah, I really want to say Drew Gulak. But I'll probably go Tony Nese as well. It just seems 205 Live, they seem to like having the long title reigns. I don't really remember the last time someone had a short one. It'd be before Cedric. So yeah, I'll back Tony Nese, and I think he'll retain. But this one will be definitely a good match. The New Day have a tag team match against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. That's Big E and Xavier Woods. Who's winning this one, Nat?
I have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I feel like they're owed a win, surely. I just think maybe the New Day have a loss. Seems like there's a bit of tension in the group. I think that would be the way to go.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I guess, I mean, there's nothing on the line, so, I mean, it probably doesn't matter in the scheme of things. I'll go with the New Day, because KO and Sami are on separate shows. They don't need a tag win. So I'll lock in the other two members of the New Day, Big E and Woods. The next match is for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Daniel Bryan and Rowan defend against Heavy Machinery. Is our man going to bring it home, Nat?
And no, he's not. He's going to have to watch his toes because Daniel Bryan might break him. And I think they're going to hold these titles for a while, Rowan and Bryan. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I completely agree. Bryan and Rowan's just, I mean, this would be their first. Is this their first title defense, or did they defend him against someone else? I can't remember. I mean,
no, because they didn't defend him against Usos.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I think this might be the first defense.
So yeah, first defense. I don't see them losing. I'll back in our Planet's Tag Team Champions. The next match is for the United States Championship. It's Samoa Joe defending against Ricochet. Any chance we see a new champ?
Nope. But I pray to God this is a long match. It's a nice match. I can have hope, can't I? Yeah.
I think this match should open the show. It would
be
so much fun and a great way to start. But yeah, I'm with you. It's got to be Joe.
Can't we just get 3 ways: Joe, Cesaro, and Ricochet, and pretend that's like Daniel's fucking Styles and Joe?
That's oh my god. So, yeah, I'm definitely all for that. Cesaro, I love that Cesaro's getting a chance to show
what he can do in the ring. Yeah,
it's really good. But Joe only just won the title back. I don't really see them dropping it to Ricochet, although that would be an awesome thing for Ricochet. I'd love to see him be champion, but I just don't think he's ready yet. So
yeah.
I'll back Joe in. Roman Reigns 1-on-1 with Drew McIntyre, so we get the WrestleMania rematch. Who are you picking in this one?
Never go against Roman Reigns. That's what I've learned. So I'm going to stick with my Roman, even though it's quite possible Drew wins this.
Yeah, it's so hard to bet against Roman. That's honestly one of the ones I was confident about at Super Showdown, but somehow Shane McMahon,
for some reason,
he picked up the win. So no, I can't see Roman losing 2 pay-per-view matches in a row. So
yeah,
I'll go with Roman as well. SmackDown Women's Championship, Bayley, who was on SmackDown, against Alexa Bliss, who was on Raw. Who do you have winning this one?
I have Bayley winning. I just don't see Alexa Bliss winning the title from being on Raw. I just think this is just a passing feud to then build up maybe someone else.
Yeah, they probably don't want to. I mean, I guess Charlotte would be the one on SmackDown. Maybe they're waiting until SummerSlam for that, for a Bayley versus Charlotte match. But yeah, I don't see why. I mean, you've just given Bayley this awesome moment, and she's got a chance now to have a run with the title. There's no reason to have her drop the championship first match that she defends it. So I'll go with Bayley as well. Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans, their feud is still going on, and they'll have another match for the Raw Women's Championship. Is this Lacey Evans' time?
No, no, I don't think she can win it. I hate her. I hate her in ring work. It's not great for me, honestly. It doesn't work for me.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Lacey wins it. I think her credibility will be very diminished if she doesn't win it here. And by all reports, they're pretty high on Lacey. So I think Becky's going to be strong no matter what, and she's probably stronger as a babyface chasing the title. So yeah. I'm gonna back Lacey in, and hopefully this is one of the ones that I go against the grain and actually get right in those predictions. The steel cage match for the WWE Championship, Kofi Kingston defends against Dolph Ziggler. Is Dolph a chance here?
No, not even a slight chance. If he wins this, this company is so whack. It's a lock. Kofi wins.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't. It feels like Dolph's back just for this little program, and then
he fucks off. Does comedy shows.
Yeah, so it's got to be Kofi. Continue his reign as champ, and hopefully he's on to bigger and better feuds after this. And the last match of the night that I've got here is Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin for the Universal Championship. Baron Corbin gets to pick the special guest referee. First though, who do you think the referee will be? Do you have a feeling of who it might be?
I mean, some people said John Cena, but why would he choose John Cena? No, I haven't really got anyone in mind that he could bring in that's gonna be a heel. I mean, it'd be funny if it was Kurt Angle.
That's very true. I sort of feel like it might be Brock.
That would be so good.
But I want to see him in the stripes. That would be fun.
I would love to see him in a ref shirt.
So yeah, that'll be very interesting to see. But who do you have winning in the match between Seth and Corbin?
I have Seth. I don't see Baron winning it. I just feel like he's just a nice heel to have opposing. He's kind of like an authority figure, but he's not really. Yeah. So yeah. And
this sort of feels like another holdover feud until SummerSlam.
Where we're gonna get Bray Wyatt winning the title.
Oh, we can only hope. They gave us the awesome Seth AJ match, and now they're giving us Baron Corbin for the second straight show. So lucky us. So that about does it for the predictions for Stomping Grounds. So I guess that leads us into this week's top 5. Alright, so I have this one, don't I, Nat? I hope so.
Yeah, you do.
Otherwise I've wasted my time. So I've just got here the top 5 24/7 champions, the long lineage of such the historic championship. Number 5, I've got Titus.
Hey, when in doubt, we go to this top 5.
Wait, did you do this already?
No, I'm just saying, when we're in doubt, we can go to this top 5.
Exactly. Number 5, Titus O'Neil, first champion ever. Defended the title once, and lost it, but good on Titus. He's a nice guy by all reports. So I'll put Titus at number 5. Number 4, Robert Roode, just because he did a lot of running with the title. He ran around the arena a lot, and he was the first one to beat someone for it. Titus won via grabbing it, so I'll put Robert Roode in there. Number 3, Jinder Mahal. He won it at the airport.
Full gear.
He won it. He won on the golf course as well. He's just I don't know. It made me kind of like Jinder Mahal a little more now that.
I mean, when you're full gear at the golf course.
Yeah, that's. I want to see more people in full gear just in public. That's just quality content. Number 2, Drake Maverick. His social media has been on fire since the introduction of the title, and he's been rewarded with a championship just before his wedding day. So I think that's pretty nice of the company, and he definitely deserves it because he's very, very entertaining to watch. And number 1 is R-Truth. I'm assuming he has the most reigns, and just quality content every week on Raw and Smackdown. Just always providing a laugh or two, which is nice. So
Sure.
I'll have R-Truth at number 1. We'll see. It's obviously a historic, prestigious championship, so I wonder if he'll go down as the greatest 24/7 champion of all time. So that sort of does it for this week, Nat. A pretty quick episode, short episode. There's not a lot of wrestling news out there. It's sort of just WWE for the moment as we wait for All Out and Fyter Fest and all these other AEW shows and the G1 to start. So
yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to get off your chest, wrestling related, that you'd?
No, not really. I mean, we got World Series Wrestling this week.
Yeah, that's true.
That'll be fun. Jordan Grace is already in town. She's doing her workouts. There's still a few tickets for tomorrow.
Yeah.
But they're like the $60 ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like it's not a general admission, so it's not worth buying the actual tickets.
And we got some pretty big names that people would know: Pentagon, Ray Phoenix, Joey Ryan,
Marty
Skrull, Brody.
The other Joey.
Yeah, Joey Janela. Joey Janela,
yeah.
Is Joey Janela on the show?
Yeah.
Jesus, man, we're lucking out.
Yeah.
Every time we look.
Jeff Cobb.
Yeah, we forget.
It's so stacked.
Yeah, we forget how stacked the card is. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, we'll probably have I'm guessing we'll talk about that next week at some point. So
yeah, definitely.
But if you want to get in contact with us, the podcast has a Twitter and Instagram account at Wrestle Hunks Pod. Nathan has the same at Nath Milo, and I'm at Evil Brody Price. So hit us up with any questions or anything you want to talk about or want us to talk about on the podcast. You can find the show on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and all other good podcast services. So make sure you give us a rate, subscribe, and share. And I think that just about does it for this week. So until next week, stay hunky.